we have this other witch's hand to finish up, and then the one that's nearly complete. So here's how the two look. And the biggest difference between the two is just the time that's been taken to put all the clay in there. I got a lot of the clay in place on this first hand. I mean, on that one that I'll be completing, and then on this first one I've been working on, is nearly done. I just wanted to go through and do a little bit of fine tuning. And actually a little bit of sculpting with my brush. So to do this, I use the orange smoothing gel. That's my preference, rather than a smoothing oil, though I tend to use both at different times. But usually if I just want slight modifications, then I will just use the smoothing gel. Okay, now I just make the indentations a little bit deeper and kind of pull the fingers over to center a little bit more. Especially like on this finger, I feel like it's a little bit twisted. Whoa. And I also feel like the knuckle in the front needs to be a little bit more forward. There we go. Now I'll be lengthening her nails out later. I don't want to worry about that yet. And now I just want to look at the way the finger blends from the back of the finger to the front of the finger. Just go over it really carefully. And right here we have a little bit of a line that it's not exactly anatomically correct, so we're just gonna blend it back into the clay. And now for these veins, I actually used just a tiny bit of that lavender colored clay I had for the boots and blended it in with a little bit of flesh colored clay. Rolled them together and made a little worm, and then broke the worm into a few different parts to give this illusion of veins here. A few more wrinkles on this wrist where it's bending up, and then also just along some thinner ones too. That first one's kind of thick. Just want her hands to be a little bit more crinkly. So she's got a lot of wrinkles in, but I'm just adding a few more crinkles. They won't be real wrinkles, they're crinkles. Now this clay's been sitting for a couple days, and for some reason it actually makes it easier when it's time to do the fine detail like this. Got a little crinkle in that fingertip, that's not what I want. Okay, and our thumb got a little bit distorted. Lengthen it out a little bit. So what I want to do on this one, I'm trying to get the skin to wrinkle just a little bit more up here, so it's like another layer of folds. There we go. Yeah, that looks nice. Okay, on this one I want to make it a little deeper too, especially since I'll be putting some nails there. We want these to be a bit deeper because we'll be adding a little extra clay. Especially down at the base of it. There we go. Make sure you can see it well. Can you see how it's just kind of like wobbly? Looks like it's going up this way and this way, so it just needs to be a little bit tamed. All right, I want a little bit of flatness on the top of that. Jack Johnston taught me that when you make these finger wrinkles, you do one on each side and then flatten the top so you get your little bit of extra skin kind of sitting there. All right, now I want that one to bend in a little bit so we can get them just a little bit more knobby looking. I'm going to switch to my brush. Now these hands are much more thick than the first witch I did. She had very knobby, long, skinny fingers. And this lady's a little bit more, she's just got stockier hands. You can see how it twists just a little bit like this. So you want to make sure you have your planes correct. And keep it kind of flat on top. There we go. Your fingers kind of curve in from the outside. So I want to remember that natural curve. And again, we're just kind of redefining this pinky nail. There we go. All right, so that's just kind of the fine tuning that you do before you're ready to bake it. There's how it's looking. I need to make these tendons down here a little bit more emphasized. I'm not sure if I want her arm to be that bulky yet or not. I might thin it out a little bit here. But there's some tips for you on how to fine tune your hands.